It's impossible to pass through life without experiencing times when you cannot see your way through a deep, dark valley. Times when that package delivered to your back door comes delivered in the ugly wrappings of death, or affliction, or illness, or divorce. Job was right when he wrote, "Man is born for trouble, as sparks fly upward." John Selden, the old British jurist and scholar, put it even more bluntly. Pleasure is nothing else but an intermission from pain. You may find yourself enjoying the intermission. Today you may be smiling. Your heart may be light and merry. Perhaps answers to prayer have come beautifully and deliberately. You are swept away in delight. But it's also quite possible that right now you're caught in a grip of affliction. You may currently be going through some of the hardest days of your life. You may be wondering, why? Why me? Why this trial? James wrote to Christians who were enduring great persecution, and they were probably asking those same questions. He answered them this way: "Blessed is a man who perseveres under trial, for once he has been approved, he will receive the crown of life which the Lord has promised to those who love him." He was saying that when you persevere through a trial, God gives you a special measure of insight. You become the recipient of a favor of God as he gives it to you, and to those who suffer with you, something that would not be learned otherwise. That word persevere is very important. It's an archaic word. We don't hear much about it in our day and age of giving up and bailing out. We don't hear much about hanging in there and persevering, about staying power. But there's more to it than merely enduring. It's one thing to stand, grim-faced, tight-fisted, staring at God with anger, saying, "How dare you? What right do you have?" Or, "Look what I've done for you, and look what I get in return." That is one kind of perseverance. But there's another kind, the kind that stands with open hands and open arms, looks into the face of God, and replies, "I submit myself to you. I'm trying hard to hear what you're saying. I wholly and completely admit my dependence. I've run out of answers. I'm waiting." Now you may be going through a trial that is so overwhelming that it's borderline unbearable. You want to see the end of the tunnel, which is only natural, because once we see that speck of light, we feel we can make it through to the finish. That's called hope. And if I just had hope, Lord, I could make it through. But God's tunnels are often twisting, too complex and dark for many of us to see the light for several days. In which setting, God says, in that dark, twisting, seemingly endless period of time, trust me. Stop running scared. Stop fearing. Did you know that you operate at your poorest when you're scared? A little fear is good for us when danger is present, but a lot of it is demoralizing. It takes away the hope, the dream, the vision, the possibility of overcoming. Jesus speaks with a gentle voice and says, "Do not be afraid. If I can't meet your need, what kind of savior would I be? Trust me. Quietly trust me." Fears lurk in the shadows of every area of life. Perhaps you've discovered that an unexpected addition to your family is on the way. Don't be afraid. God can enable you to handle 4 children just like he helped you handle 3. You may be uncertain where your job is leading. The future may look threatening. You're uneasy about what's around the corner. Or maybe you're afraid of what the doctor's exam is going to reveal. Jesus says, stop being afraid. Trust me. One of the Greek terms for tribulation in the New Testament refers to pressure, like being crushed under a big boulder. This is a description of pain, of enduring strain. It's an illustration of the crush of our times. There's a certain kind of pressure that comes with unemployment. There's another kind of pressure that comes with the possibility of losing your home. There's pressure that comes with the calamity of a wayward child or a runaway mate. And there's certainly pressure of having too much to do and not enough time to get it all done. That pressure accompanies sleepless nights and the press of tomorrow's demanding responsibilities. Annie Johnson Flint wrote, "Pressed out of measure and pressed to all length, pressed so intently it seems beyond strength, pressed in body and pressed in soul, pressed in the mind until dark surges roll. Pressure by foes, pressure by friends, pressure on pressure till life nearly ends. pressed into loving the staff and the rod, pressed into knowing no helper but God. Jesus Christ stands at the door. He holds out his hands that are scarred, his feet are pierced, and he bears in his body the marks of death. He says, I know the pressure you are under. I understand the strain. I know the unfair abuse. But let me offer you some encouragement. Don't be afraid, says Jesus. Look at life through my eyes. Stop letting life intimidate you. Stop running scared. Trust me. Our English word for worry comes from the German würgen, which in that tongue means to strangle. Let that worry out of your life this week. Take it to God right now and tell him that you're having a hard time. Trust God with your truth, even if you're not ready to let it go yet. Tell him that and let him help you. Let him assist you from unstrangling yourself. Thanks, guys, and God bless.